Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 5, Episode 15, which is also the season finale. Had absolutely no idea that this was going to be the season finale. And how about them showing the first part of the reunion on New Year's Eve at 8 o'clock? I mean, I guess they're probably thinking that people will watch it because you can record it or whatever. Because I'm just like, who is going to be sitting and watching Love and Marriage Huntsville on New Year's Eve? Maybe they know better than I do. I know I won't be watching it that day, but I'll get to it at some point on New Year's Day, probably. But anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with Mel getting a private massage. She said that she actually forgot when she invited Stormy over that she was getting the private massage. So Stormy was just gonna have to sit there and watch her get it. So, you know, Stormy comes in, hey girl, how you doing? You look so good. How's everything been? Well, you know, Stormy's working her business, and, you know, Mel was like, everything you do always turn out good. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Stormy asked her how was the trip, and Mel said actually the trip was fine. But when we got back, that's when all of the stuff started. So apparently Martel shared with his baby mama that Melody had COVID. Apparently baby mama, or you guys lovingly call her coleslaw, she put it out on social media, and Mel was unhappy about that. But when she was telling Stormy, she was telling her how her and Martel were having words about it, and he said something along the lines of something, 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 and he called Mel by the girl's name. And Mel was just like, oh no, that is not me, that is your other baby mama. Okay, don't get us mixed up. Stormy was like, oh, is that what happened? Anyways, you know, Mel, this is why I always have my boundaries up. It just showed that Martel is always the immature person that Martel has always been. And Stormy was just like, oh, well, girl, what's going on with him and Sheree? I see it all over the internet. And Mel was just like, she don't know. But, you know, girl, I done did interviews with TMZ and the Shade Room, and, you know, everybody's asked me about it. And I told them that I don't care what Martel is doing. You know, you guys act like this is the first time. This is not the first time that Martel had a whole nother woman while we was married. Okay, went and had a baby with that woman. So this ain't no skin off of Mel's back. Okay, just same shit, different day. Except that they're not together anymore, so she doesn't have to care. You know, Mel was just like, I don't know nothing about her. I ain't never seen her, never met her. I don't know her. I don't have anything bad to say about her. She's beautiful. But, you know, people always want me to say something because people love what? Drama. But what can she say about Sheree? You know, Sheree ain't did her nothing. Stormy asked her if she's going to Martel's wine event, and she was just like, yeah, I don't think that I can go. You know, after the trip, in all of this drama that's been going on, it shows that Martel has not advanced in any kind of way. He still loves to be in the middle of the mess. And, you know, Mel with her boundaries and her walls and her space and all of that. She's not going to let Martel in that again. You know, Stormy, I work really hard to stay peaceful and calm. Stormy was like, well, you do a good job of it. She was like, honey, I've been great before I let him in my space, and I'm going to be great after. Okay, so Mel ain't worrying about it. I told y'all she wasn't going to that damn wine event. Y'all was like, oh no, production told her she has to go. Did Mel show? We'll talk about that in a minute. Now we jump over to Letitia, and Letitia's trying to get her clothes and Marcel's clothes together. You know, when he come in, hey babe, I'm just trying to make sure that we get our clothes together so we look like a couple, you know, instead of just looking like they just showed up at something together. Marcel was like, I ain't doing all of that. I'm just going to show up in whatever I wear. We going to let Martel be the one to, you know, show up in all his fanciness. Last time he had a fox on this show. There ain't no telling what he might have on his damn back this time. Anyways, Letitia was just like, whatever, Marcel. So how do you think that everything's going to go since we all haven't been together since Madani? And Marcel was just like, well, it's going to go like it always goes. You know, we're going to go, and the ladies going to separate off together, and you guys are going to start arguing, and the men aren't. And she's just like, what, babe? Why you say that? And all the ladies, we don't always fight. Girl, I know you didn't keep a straight face when you said that. They start showing clips of all of the times. Every time they get together, it's a fight. If it's not a fight, it's real high tension with the possibility of a fight on the way. She was just like, the girls are fine, actually. You know, Mel and Destiny made up. And Marcel was like, they did? She was like, yeah, you know, Destiny told her that they did. And she and Mel, well, they're cordial. They can be in the same room with each other. And Kimmy is coming, you know, so we should be fine. She was just like, you know, this is real big for Martel. And he was just like, yeah, you know, people been asking if they're going to carry the Inez wine in black, you know, their cigar bar. And Marcel was like, absolutely, you know, why wouldn't we? We're not in competition with him, you know, their drink and his drink are totally different drinks and not in the same lane. And yeah, absolutely, he'll support. Then she mentioned Sheree and how Mel had did a couple of interviews, you know, saying basically that she doesn't care. I don't know why people think that Mel should care that Martel is seeing somebody. I mean, we knew it was going to happen eventually, but I guess, you know, like Marcel said, you know, he thinks that Mel was fine when Martel was leveling down, but now that he's leveling up with Sheree, you know, that Mel actually might have a problem with it. You know, because Letitia was just like, she don't never really, you know, express her real feelings. She don't tell people her real feelings. She always has to be unbothered. And Marcel was just like, you know, people think that there's strength in being unbothered. Okay. You act like you don't care about something, but then you always have a comment about it. You know, that's showing that you are bothered. But I mean, people were asking her the question, so I mean, she's going to answer the question. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's really bothered about it. She's probably bothered about people thinking that she's bothered about it, you know? It's just sort of like, okay, all right. So, yeah, but you know, it's going to be more on the show, so that part is probably annoying for Mel. Now let's jump over to Martel. Martel says, so today is one of the biggest days of my life. Today we celebrate Inez wine here in Huntsville. And you guys, Melnica, she was very helpful in getting the event off the ground in Atlanta, but this is Huntsville. We got to do it bigger. Okay. I don't know what happened to Melnica ever since that conversation that he had with Melnica where they talked about them two fooling around in high school. Child, we ain't seen hide nor hair of Melnica. I don't know if it was her husband, if it was her, if it was Martel. I don't know who it was, but Melnica is gone in the wind, okay? So now we got a girl named Kim that's helping, and he was like, Kim knocked it out the park. And I invited Chris, Fletcher, and Destiny to come up here and help me because, you know, just to have another set of eyes on everything. Okay, he wants to make sure that nothing gets missed. So after Kim walks off and it's just the three of them talking, Destiny asks him about the new boo. And he was just like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. And she was just like, you don't want to talk about it? And he was like, no, I want to talk about Inez wine and why we're here today. And she was like, oh, okay, so you don't even care about this? And she pulls out her phone and she shows him the interview that Mel had with whoever it was, one of the many people that were asking her about his relationship with Sheree, which was very messy and unnecessary. It's just sort of like, again, why are you guys trying to force a fight between Mel and Martel? It was like he was going to see that, and you guys had, child, just a mess. You know, so she's showing it to him and looking all around at the camera like, let's see what he going to say now. And so Martel, of course, bites because Martel can't control his emotions half of the damn time. And Martel was just, how dare she talk about anything that I'm doing? Okay, she has brought so many people, a lot of people around my kids that I don't know, you know, to babysit them. And I've never met not one of them. Okay, so Martel was just like, she could miss me with that shit right there. But I really wish that he would have just been like, I don't care what Mel says, you know. And like Martel said, it's not like they're getting married. All right, they just chilling for now. Okay, but if we did move forward with everything, you know, I know that it would be good for my family. It would be good for my children. It would be good for everybody. But y'all quit trying to make it be more than it is right now. Right now, they just hanging out. I'm not worried about Mel. You know, I've been doing a lot of things, you know, she don't know about. I've been in counseling, you know, but I don't publicize that, you know. She don't know about that. I was just like, yeah, you don't publicize it. You just say it on TV. Destiny was like, why didn't you tell her before, social media did? And he was like, because it's not her business. And he does not have to tell Mel that he was seeing Sheree. I mean, I guess if they were in a good space, then maybe he could have been like, hey, before, the blogs let you know I'm doing this. But he doesn't owe that to Mel. Mel doesn't owe that to him. Everybody is divorced. And so let's do what we doing, live our lives. But, it's hard when people are determined to keep the pettiness and keep you guys at odds with each other. And like Martel said, we can barely co-parent. We need to focus on that right now. But we have the event. And Martel just wants the event to be perfect. I want the wine to be perfect. This is a legacy for my family. I don't need anything to go wrong. Okay, everything's got to go well. So the people are arriving there, and it's so funny the way that they had all the titles of everybody when they walked in, like we didn't know who they were. Okay, but all the couples walk in, absolutely no male, and that's what Letitia tells us when she was like, "This is a real good location." Okay, we can see all of Huntsville and all of the people that are here, and people are dressed to the nines. We just trying to see if Mel is coming. Mel ain't coming. Mel ain't coming. We get Destiny, Stormy, Tiffany, and Letitia together. And they're just talking. And, child, we ain't seen Tiffany in so long. I had to get used to seeing her talking again, but she was her regular Tiffany self. Tiffany was like, she did the photo shoot or the commercial shoot with Stormy. And while they were there, Mel showed up. And Mel said that, you guys had talked, okay, that you had invited her over. So are you guys fine now? And Destiny is just looking at her like, bitch, whatever. She was just like, it ain't nothing that you need to concern yourself about. Okay, we talked, we cordial, we fine. Okay, and Letitia, we Gucci. Yeah, we Gucci. And she was just like, well, you guys were together when we were all together at Stormy's peace party. I couldn't tell the way you guys were acting, like, you guys are friends. Were you guys being fake or what was that? And she was just like, look, nobody got on my nerves at that event except for you. And the music was squeak, you know how it does. And, they were like, oh. Destiny was like, I'm so fucking sick of Tiffany. Tiffany don't know how to read the room. Tiffany don't know how to catch the vibes. I mean, she just talk and say what the hell ever. All Tiffany is good at doing is making an awkward situation even that much more awkward. I was like, that Destiny is so fucking funny. She's so aggravated and irritated with so many people. I was just like, girl, you just gonna go off on everybody, huh? And so anyway, while they're over there talking, Chris confronts Marcel about this, them being out in Atlanta, and calling him a friend. And, it was a friend this and a friend that, and everybody is asking Chris about it. Chris did not mention, or at least they didn't put in there, this whole thing that Chris said that he was only with Marcel for a little bit of time. Okay, remember that's what he told Martel last week. Now, why this week you didn't say, like, nigga, we was only together for dinner and then I didn't see you the rest of the fucking weekend or whatever it was, So that was interesting to me. But anyway, this whole thing about Marcel calling him a friend. And, in Marcel's very Confucius way, and he always has to talk so long and everything. But basically, Marcel was saying that the reason why he said a friend instead of saying Chris's name was because he was trying to build suspense. Because it ain't, at the end of the day, it ain't nobody's fucking business what he was doing out there. But the whole thing is like, you did that because you knew that it was riling your damn wife up. You got to remember that while you talking to the whole world, you also talking to your wife. So when you say a friend, of course, Letitia's going to be like, who's the friend you talking about? And so, yeah, Marcel likes all this. He got to say that is building suspense. And yeah, he could have just came out and said it and all, but yeah, deep down inside, Marcel likes to go head to head with people in social media. Anyways, they're also curious to see if Sheree is going to come to the event. All right. But Martel says, well, I spoke with Sheree and we talked and said that it would probably be best if she did not come because then it would take the attention off of the Inez wine and it would be about our relationship. So no, Sheree won't be there today. But anyway, you guys, let's get this show on the road. So Martel gets up there now. It was just dusk and now it's night. It's nighttime, honey. They had to bring everybody in close just so that they can get the spotlight on them so we can see them. Shit. But Martel gets up there, and you can tell he's kind of nervous. I don't know if public speaking is really Martel's forte. Martel, I've been working on this speech for the last couple of days because the last time that we were in Atlanta, he wasn't prepared. He hadn't written a speech, and he got up there and said a whole bunch of foolishness, and the uncle was mad and was ready to beat his ass, okay? So now he done sat there and he done wrote shit out, and he's going to read it to you. I was like, Martel, can you read the crayons in the dark? Bless his heart, child. He was up there, this wine is, he was trying to get it out. He was like, let me start over. I said, just breathe, Martel. We all here to support you. So he finally got the speech out, and he talks about his grandmother being like the matriarch of the family and just like the one that held everybody together. And excuse me, and he thanks his mom and his uncles and family and everybody that was there to support. I hope that Inez wine is a Capinaway, not a waterway, or whatever you say. I hope that Inez wine is Capinaway, not Nawate. I hope that Inez wine is Capinaway Nawate, and that means loved by all in Swahili. Can y'all say that with me? Capinaway Nawate. And they all say it like, oh, okay, Capinaway Nawate. He said he's going to continue to bring the legacy of his grandmother forth, and he's happy that, it's out there and that it's out there for the family and the generations for everybody to enjoy. Okay? So it was a success. Afterwards, the folks are sitting around talking. It's Maurice and Kimmy, Stormy, Destiny, because you guys know Kimmy hadn't let Stormy and Destiny know about her cancer yet. So they're sitting around and talking, and Stormy was just like, when the last time I saw you at the peace party, you just, you were so upset and it just didn't seem like you. And, Stormy was just kind of trying to check on her. And so Kimmy tells them that, that was a hard day for her. She had just found out that she had breast cancer, and, they were still waiting on the test results to come back for a lot of things. And, she was trying to sit there and be present, but she was worried about all of that, and so of course Destiny and Stormy are just like, so she said she already started chemo, and that's when Stormy gets up to give her a hug, and Destiny is just over there, just wiping her tears. And but Kimmy was just like, we're gonna get through this. I got Maurice, and he's here, he's helping me, and Destiny was like, well, I know you're not gonna ever ask, but if you need something, if you ever need anything, I'm here. And she was like, yeah, everybody always says that. You guys know I'm just not an asker. I'm not an asker. Stormy asked her what stage it was, which was just sort of like, I was trying to figure out if that was appropriate or not. I just told you I had breast cancer. You want to know if, I guess it would be, but it just seemed, I don't know. It was a little bit off-putting, but I don't think Stormy knew better, because did they say what stage it was, and Kimmy was like, well, it's like 1B, 2A, but it's at the beginning, but she has a couple of lumps, so that's what the concern is. They've got to keep their eye on both of these lumps and try to get them reduced and all of the surgery and all of that. But anyway, so now everybody on the show knows. At the same time that Kimmy is talking to them about her cancer diagnosis, Marcel was talking to Jalen, checking in on him, like, how are you doing? And Jalen was just like, yeah, I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel. He's used to his mom being the strong one. He's like, before his mom got with Maurice, it was just her and him, and he's never ever seen his mom cry, ever. He said the first time that he saw his mom cry was at her wedding. Okay, he was like, and now, this is the second time that I've seen her cry, and he doesn't know how to process that. He's a man, he can't fix it. He doesn't want to know, he doesn't know if he should show his emotions, if he should be sad in front of his mom, or should he be the strong one. And he's going through all of these changes like a lot of young people. I mean, when you find out your parent not young people, but I'm talking about when you find out your parent has cancer, all these same thoughts go through your head, you know. And so Marcel was just telling him that he should feel however he wants to feel, and you shouldn't hold it back or hold it in. I mean, if you were sad one day about it and you want to cry, then you should cry. You know, these are the things that you should let out. You shouldn't hold them in. Marcel tells him that he's going through it too, with his sister, his brother, his sister-in-law. I'm not sure if he meant his actual sister or was he talking about Kimmy. Maybe he was talking about his actual sister, because then he did say his brother and his sister-in-law. But, you know, so he knows exactly how Jalen feels. You know, you just don't have any answers. There's really nothing that you can do. You just have to hope and pray that, you know, they make it through on the other side cancer-free. So, you know, it was nice. Marcel said, I know you're not going to ask me for help, but, you know, if you ever need me, I'm here, you know. So it's interesting that everybody thinks that about Kimmy and Jalen. It's tiring to be the strong friend, okay, or the strong family member. Again, our prayers that Kimmy will just get through it. And then lastly, you guys, so like I said, Mel didn't go to the event. Now, Martel is on his way over to Mel's house. A lot has transpired in the last week or two. But I'm on my way over to Mel's house because I want to talk to her about one of our kids going to the next grade, and talk to her about camp and things of that nature. Okay, so he pulls up in the driveway, goes to the door, and, you know, she opens the door. Hey, Martel. He was just like, are you about to go somewhere? And she was just like, I was just leaving, but I got the girls' bags together for you. And he was like, bags? I don't need no bags. Okay, they got their own clothes at my house. Anyway, Martel wants to come in and talk, and Mel is blocking the door. And he was just like, oh, you're not going to let me in? She was like, it's out on the porch today. Oh, come on, Mel. I'm not going to sit up here and talk to you on this porch. You invited me to that house in Florida. Don't play with me like that. Hell no, don't play with me like that. Mel was just like, I ain't never invited Martel into my house before, and I'm not inviting him into my house today. He acting brand new like he didn't know this. Okay, but I guess Martel thought that they had turned a corner. So Martel was just like, I'm leaving. So he starts walking down the pathway, and Mel was just like, I don't have time to be go chasing after this little boy today. Of course, Martel's reaction is to overreact. But honey, she don't care. It's a new Mel in town, boo-boo. I set my boundaries and I stick to them. So you're not coming in my house. She's trying to give him the bags, and like I said he ain't staying there for that shit. He leaving. If he can't come in the house, then fuck all this. I don't need no fucking bags. She was like, oh, okay, it's always drama with Martel. Okay, what Martel wants, Martel thinks that he's supposed to get, but not with Mel. He was just like, don't be disrespectful and rude to me when I come to your house. When you come to my house, she was just like, listen, Martel, when I came to your house, he was like, yeah, when you came to my house, I let you come in. She was just like, but I didn't care if you didn't let me come in. So they're arguing on the phone because she's in the house and he's out there in the car, and he hangs up the phone. So she's just sort of like, fine, boy, that's whatever. And she says that he's being childish. So then, even though Martel left, he comes on back. I'm sure production was like, no, let's get this scene done. Martel was just like, I'm not gonna be standing on this hot porch. It's 100 degrees today, talking to Mel. So he calls her back outside. Okay, so that they can try to hash it out. Mel was just like, you know what? I've been so far removed from Martel, I don't know how to handle his PMS mood swings anymore. But she goes on back out there. So he's sort of like, what's the problem? So Mel tells him that, you know what, when they was in Destin and they spoke, and yeah, they opened up to each other, and she appreciated that and everything. But when I got back to Huntsville, I was opened up to some drama that I haven't had to deal with in a long time. So apparently she had COVID, okay? So I guess Martel told the baby mama, and the baby mama then, in her childish way, went onto social media and was talking about it and letting everybody know that Mel had COVID. I mean, it's not like she had HIV, but it's still Mel's personal business, and it wasn't up to that girl to put that news out there, right? But Mel is mad at Martel for telling the girl, but I kind of understand what Martel was saying. Like, listen, the kids are around you. Our kids together and my kid with her are together. All right? So there is a chance that this can be transmitted between the kids. And so I'm letting her know, like, okay, Mel had COVID, like, just be careful. I guess watch the kids, making sure that she is aware of what was going on. I don't think that was bad that Martel did that. And I really don't think that it's Martel's fault that the girl got on social media and did it. But see, I understand what Mel is saying too, because see, Mel is so pissed because she's been through this shit with the girl before, that Mel is just like, basically, if you hadn't brought the bitch in our life in the first time, we wouldn't even be going through this. So yes, I'm going to blame you. Yes, I'm going to hold you accountable, even though it's not really fair. But you got to remember where Mel's headspace is and how they've been fighting and shit so much that, yeah, she gonna be annoyed and she can't get to the baby mama right now. So now you the next best thing. Okay. And again, the only reason why she is in our lives is because of you. So, I mean, I understand what she's saying, but I also understand that Martel had a responsibility with COVID. I mean, it's serious. You need to let people know if they've been exposed to the virus. So of course they get to arguing. Mel, I don't want you. You don't want me. We both moved on. Like, what is the problem? And she was just like, I know you want to start off everything like, I don't want you, you don't want me. But just last week, you was asking me to get back together. What? Girl, what nobody saying that? Why are you lying? Oh, you was, Martel. You was just like, we soulmates. We supposed to be together. He was just like, no, I did not say that. Although I believe he probably did. Martel gonna yell out the window, you been with way too many men for me to want you. I said, nigga, you got your fucking nerves. Mel was just like, Martel is the typical insecure man or boy. She said that Martel is good at putting batteries in that bitch's back and letting her get some information so she can go out there and put the shit out on social media. So she ain't, later for her and Martel. You know what, Martel, me and you are not together anymore, so you don't have to try to pit me against any other woman. All right? She not fixing to argue about it. You ain't coming in this house, take these damn kids with this bag that I done packed for them, and get the fuck out my face. I was just like, well, this is an interesting point for them to stop the show, okay? Because after this, I'm assuming is when they was going back and forth in court and shit. But because this is just right after they got back from Destin. So anyway, y'all, the reunion is next week, and the reunion looks like it's going to be explosive, as they like us to be. Not next week, the week after next, on New Year's Eve. And yeah, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it in 2 weeks. It ain't gonna be nothing, no videos for me next week, because Love and Marriage won't be on, and neither will Real Housewives of Atlanta, because that's actually on Christmas. I'm sure they're not going to show Real Housewives of Atlanta on Christmas. So everything won't pick back up until that next week. I'll do Top of the Blog still, but yeah, it's going to be a light week, which is fine, because you guys know the day after Christmas is somebody we all know and love. It's their birthday. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be celebrating my birthday that day, and so it works out fine. But anyway, we'll talk about it more next week, you guys. Let me get on off of here. All right, you guys, make sure that you thumbs up this video, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm Rox. The channel is itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.